Welcome everyone to the first episode of Tuesday Transfer Talk, where I'll be talking about the biggest, the newest, and the craziest transfers in Europe. This is a new series where I'll be uploading a video every single Tuesday talking about some of the biggest transfers in Europe. In these videos, I'm going to be giving you guys all the details about the transfers, my personal opinions on the signings, and also going to rate each signing on a scale from 1 to 10. Let's start off with, in my opinion, the biggest transfer so far this summer, and that is Jude Bellingham to Real Madrid. Real Madrid have paid a fee of 103 million euros to Borussia Dortmund for Jude Bellingham, as he has joined them on a 6-year deal, and he will be earning about 10 to 12 million euros per season. In my opinion, this is a great transfer for Real Madrid, as their current midfielders like Toni Kroos and Luka Modric are starting to get old. They're in their late 30s, and to be honest, they're probably gonna retire soon. Getting another young midfielder in Jude Bellingham to join Tchouaméni and Camavinga and Valverde is absolutely phenomenal, and I think that Real Madrid now have the best young midfield in the world. This also adds to the depth of their squad, as Real Madrid generally play a lot of games in the season, playing in the La Liga, Copa del Rey, Champions League, so providing this extra depth to their squad will help them immensely in the future. For all these reasons, I think this is an insane signing for Real Madrid, and I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. The next transfer we got is Kai Havertz is leaving Chelsea and joining Arsenal for 65 million pounds. Kai Havertz has proven that he is a good forward and has the qualities to play in the Premier League, but in my opinion, 65 million pounds is a little bit too much. In the last few seasons, I think Kai Havertz has been lacking a little bit, and for that reason I think a price more around 45 million or 50 million would be more reasonable. But 65 million pounds, that is crazy. 65 million is just way too much, and for that reason I'm gonna have to give this transfer a 6 out of 10. Holy shit, it's hot in here, bro. The next transfer we got is one that happened very early on in the summer, and that is Alexis McAllister to Liverpool. Liverpool triggered the release clause at 35 million pounds at Brighton, and Alexis McAllister is joining them on a 5-year deal. Personally, I think this is an incredible signing for Liverpool, as their current midfielders, Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, James Milner, are starting to get a little bit old, and to be honest, they need a young player, an energetic player like McAllister. I think that he is going to help them a lot in the future years, and for that reason, I'm giving this transfer a 9 out of 10. The next transfer we got is Gundogan, and he is joining Barcelona as a free agent. The contract is a 2-year deal with the option to extend it for 1 more year after the 2 years are up. Just imagine that midfield of Gundogan, Pedri, and Frenkie de Jong, one of the best midfields in the world. I think this is incredible work by Barcelona. Gundogan is a player that has won the Champions League, won many titles with Man City, and to get him as a free agent is incredible. I'm gonna have to give this transfer a 9.5 out of 10. Speaking about City, this leads us into our next transfer, as Mateo Kovacic is leaving Chelsea and joining Manchester City. The clubs have agreed on a 25 million pound fee with an extra 5 million pounds in add-ons. I think that Manchester City signed Kovacic as a replacement for Gundogan, but in my opinion, Gundogan is a far better player. I do still think that this is a good signing, but because of the fact that Man City lost Gundogan, who was a main player in their team, Kovacic is not going to be as good for them as Gundogan was, and for that reason I'm going to give this signing a 7 out of 10. There is more action in London, as the next signing I'm going to talk about is Christopher Nkunku is leaving RB Leipzig and joining Chelsea for 65 million euros. We've obviously been hearing about this signing for many months now, but it has finally been confirmed, and Nkunku is a Chelsea player. I think that this is great work by Chelsea, because we saw last season how much they struggled to score, and now that they got a proper center forward in Nkunku, I think that he is going to give them those goals that they were missing last season. Nkunku is still a young player, a phenomenal player, and I think this is a good signing. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Next up, some more action from Chelsea, as they have also signed Nicholas Jackson from Villarreal. Chelsea triggered the release clause at only 35 million euros. Nicholas Jackson has had an incredible year, and Chelsea are obviously hoping that he can help them next season. I think that this is a good deal, because 35 million euros is not a lot for Chelsea, and this will just increase their squad depth for next season. And for that reason, I'm going to give this signing a 8.5 out of 10. Next up, some action from AS Roma, as they have signed Evan Ndicka from Eintracht Frankfurt as a free agent on a 5-year deal. Ndicka has shown last season that he is an amazing young center back, great pace, great physicality, and I think he is going to help Roma a lot in the coming years. And the fact that they got him as a free agent is amazing. I'm going to give the signing a 9 out of 10. Some more action from Roma, as they have also signed Houssem Aouar from Olympique Lyon as a free agent again on a 5-year deal. Again, I think this is a great signing by Roma. Aouar has shown that he is an incredible attacking midfielder in the Ligue 1, and I think if he can bring those qualities over to the Serie A, he will really help Roma next season. The fact that Roma got both these players as a free agent is incredible. And again, I'm gonna have to give this transfer a 9 out of 10. Next up, Rafael Aguero is going to... Next up, Rafael Aguero is leaving Borussia Dortmund and joining Bayern Munich as a free agent. The contract will be valid until June 2026, and I think this is an incredible transfer. We all saw how good Guerrero was for Borussia Dortmund last season, as he could start in the fullback position, but has the ability to play in the midfield and even push up and score goals and also get assists. I honestly think that this is a perfect signing for Bayern Munich, and I'm gonna have to give it the first 10 out of 10. Amazing signing for Bayern Munich. The final transfer I'm going to be talking about today is Sandro Tonali is leaving AC Milan and joining Newcastle. Newcastle will have to pay a fee of about 70 million euros to AC Milan, as the contract is valid until 2029. Sandro Tonali will be earning a salary of about 8 to 10 million pounds net per season. Personally, I think this is an amazing signing by Newcastle, because having watched them so much last season, I thought that their biggest problem in that team was the midfield, and buying a young, passionate Italian player who has shown his qualities in the Serie A, I think he will really help Newcastle next season in both the Premier League and even the Champions League. I am a big fan of this signing, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And those are all the transfers I have to talk about today in the first episode of Tuesday Transfer Talk. Stay tuned for next week's episode, as I will be going in depth on all the new signings in football. And if you guys want to stay up to date with all the newest football news and content, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more videos.